Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Here we go with another Short Shifts episode, 10 minutes on the clock. We're also live in our Hockey Think Tank community for all our community members to see this as it goes. And Vex, this is a topic. We actually had a coaches call. So with all the organizations that we work with, every Tuesday we hold a coaches call with them and we discuss a specific hockey topic. And this is actually the topic that we discussed today. It was awesome. All the coaches from all the organizations get to give their input, collaborate, learn a little bit from each other, learn a little bit from us. And so today what we talked about was tracks and gaps. Tracks and gaps. How important tracks and gaps are, how they kind of unite with each other, and how each can support each other in being a really hard to play against defensive team and potentially leading to some offense as well. So wanted to ask you, tracks and gaps, man. Like, why is it important? What's important as it relates to that? And how can it make you a good hockey team?
The T's and the G's. I would say everyone knows that any team that tracks back hard and also like sorts it out while they're tracking back is so much harder to play against. It is so much harder to play against the teams that hit the brakes on a turnover, immediately track back. They're talking to their defensemen, at a certain point. Usually teams will have like a break off point, whether it's a red line or the blue line, where there's a rule, okay, if you get to this point, then you'll take the third guy no matter what, or you'll keep coming back to the house. But teams that come back and track hard allow your defensemen to have better gaps. When your defensemen have better gaps and can be up in the play because they know that they can trust you that you're coming back, so guys can't pull up and then have a guy drive behind them and all these things. The D-men can play up a lot tighter, have way better gaps, and everybody knows the whole point of an in-zone entry is to try and manipulate space and time against the defender in front of you so that you have more options to make the best play possible, whether that's a drive to the net, a shot, a pull up, taking him off to the side and then throwing a little dish to somebody who's slicing through the middle. Higher level hockey and all hockey is all about manipulating space and time. So when teams track hard, their D-men can have better gaps. T's and G's, baby. T's and G's.
You were a big T. You were a big T that allowed the G from your defenseman, weren't you?
I teed hard because I had to, because that's all I had. Back check, forecheck. I'm going hard. That's the only way I got a paycheck.
Oh, man. Let me flip it and reverse it. Put my thing down.
Flip it and reverse it.
So, first of all, if you're a team that doesn't track hard and gap well, you're going to play a lot in your defensive zone, number one, because you're going to allow a lot of controlled entries. And then, a huge factor that coaches look at, a stat, is ozone possession time. And if you're allowing teams to come into your offensive zone without any type of pushback, let's call it, you're going to spend a lot of time defending. And number one, you don't want to defend because it takes a lot out of you. Number two, if your better players are continually playing in the defensive zone, they're going to be disgruntled and they're going to be frustrated because they want to play offense. There's nothing worse as an offensive player than having to play an entire shift or half of a shift in the D zone. Right? Like, nobody wants to do that. So if you're not good at it, then you're going to spend a lot of time defending in your own zone, 200 feet away from the net that you want to score on. So the other thing is, like, tracks, like you talk about being hard to play against. Like, just think about as an offensive player, like when you're, what do we all crave as offensive players? Time and space. Like you said, Vex, time and space, time and space. If you have a back checker all up in your grill, coming back through the middle of the ice, like, that sucks to play against. Or from the other side of things, if you're a defenseman on a breakout or in the neutral zone and you're looking up and there's a tight gap against all of the players that you need to pass the puck to, and you have no options, that's like the worst thing as a defenseman to have to go through as well, right? And so, like you said, like you can't have one without the other. Like if you don't track hard, you can't gap, because gapping is aggressive. It's aggressive to do that. You got to get up the ice. You got to be tight and above to your check. And if you don't have forwards coming back and you make an aggressive mistake, you're going to have odd man rushes coming back at your net all night, all night, all night, all night. And so, like, as you said, and this, I'm reiterating it because it's the most important thing, like you have to be a great tracking team if you want to play aggressively with your D and gap up. You have to, because it'll minimize the risk of odd man rushes going the other way.
And you know, offensively, there's nothing worse than playing D that are all up in your business. Whether you're trying to break out and their gap is tight and they're playing right on you, kind of like in a all the time pinching type of thing. But like, think about that both like all the way up the ice, in the neutral zone, the D zone, all of that stuff. And, you know, now that we're talking about this and I'm thinking about it, all the teams that track back really well, that means their D men trust the forwards and the forwards trust the D men. So down low in the D zone, they're probably layered, which is so annoying to play against. You spin off, beat one guy out of the corner, a little shimmy shake. What's up? Suck it, bud. Stay in the corner, turn towards the net, and there's another layer right away, just right there waiting for you. And the teams that track really well also play good D zones and layers and things like that, because they see how well it works, knocking down, you know, odd man rushes and breaking, stopping pucks from even getting in the zone. So they're going to play better in the D zone, and it's just so much harder to play offensively against that.
Yeah, and it's back hard through the middle too. I think that's something that's really important. Like when you're tracking back, it's got to be in the middle of the ice. Again, where do the offensive teams want to go? They want to bring the puck to the middle. They want to get the puck to the middle. And so by tracking hard through the middle, good stick on the ice, you know, relentless getting back with that back pressure on your reloads, like it's hard to play against because we want to bring the middle of the ice offensively. And, you know, when you're taking that away, you force teams to stay on the outside or they're going to turn pucks over, which is a win either way.
And this is something that, you know, for Toph and I, it's just like second nature. But, you know, I always try to think about who's listening to this podcast. How old are they? What are they, you know, what have they maybe not learned yet? I don't remember how old I was when I learned it, but, you know, a coach told me, oh, if you're on the, like, let's say I'm on the right side of the ice as I'm looking at my end towards my D zone. So I'm back checking towards my D zone. So I'm on the right side of the ice. Instead of like skating over to the middle and then straight forward, like a 90-degree angle ish, you wouldn't really do that on the ice, or your guy beats you up the strong side that you're on and kind of like chasing the back of him. If I'm on the right side of the ice, I want to skate to the near post, like on that angle towards my D zone. If I'm on the left side of the ice, I want to skate towards that near post, which would be most goalies' blocker sides, because that's the shortest distance to the net. Instead of, a lot of younger players might chase a guy. So like if a guy goes wide,
like is trying to like behind him,
right, and is trying to like beat your D man, instead of you following the path that he's going, his goal is to get to the net. So you want to, you know, shortest distance is between 2 points is a straight line. So you want to skate to that near post of the side of the ice you're on, back towards your net, and it will just save you some time as you're getting there. You'll get there quicker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And tracks start in the ozone, right? Kind of like they start this. A lot of people like to think about it neutral zone back into the D zone. Like tracks start on the forecheck. Like it's all about F3 getting high, coming back hard through the middle, and then F1, F2. Like as soon as the puck goes away from you, it's a dead ass sprint, you know, to get back, because you want to be aggressive down the walls, whether it's with a forward or whether it's a D getting up. Like you want to take the walls away and force them to have to put the puck into the middle of the ice, where you can also have your F3 to get down on them or a D to get down on them as well. And that's where, like, it's funny, like higher level hockey, they don't use the word pinch anymore. They don't use the word pinch anymore because there's a little bit of a cowboy mentality, like maybe a little too aggressive. So what you'll hear NHL coaches, high level coaches talk about is gap hard. Instead of pinching, you're gapping hard and you're skating up. So rather than like the guy getting the puck and then me
And you trying
pinching
to
on them,
murder him. Yeah.
you're already up on him before he gets the puck, gapped hard. So you're taking that passing lane away, if that makes any
Coaches,
sense.
I hope you listen to what Toph just said. We've only got 10 seconds here. I hope you listen to what Toph just said. I'm sure a lot of you, like me, immediately it made it easier to think about what he's talking about. And he was saying the same thing, but with different words. That's what good coaches do. That was genius. That was so cool. That was, no, seriously.
Dude, we got to do another one of these. This is not enough time. But share the show. We'll talk about this again. We'll talk about this again.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.